So we can start now. All right, so we're welcome to this class. I'm so happy that we all made it to this class. But okay, please, the class rules are number one, make sure that you mute your mic, except you are asked a question and you want to answer. So if you have an a challenge, you can raise your hand so that we can reach out to you and then tell you to speak up. You can also send a message in the chat section. So this meeting is for 3 hours, like I said on the group, and from now till 6 p.m. or before 6, we're going to be in this class. So I want us to make sure that we are fully in the class and then we get the most of the class today. So you could also jot your point down and then you could uh, ask your question at the end of the class. Mr. Sarumi, please mute the person whose mic is not muted rather. All right, so okay, so I said that we can take down notes. We can take down notes and then we can also take down our questions and then there will be time for questions and answers by the end of the class, towards the end of the class rather. So please make sure you jot your questions down and then they will all be attended to. Also, we are recording this class currently. So if you need the class recording, you can reach out to me by the end of the class. So we are set now. So basically, this training is for data analysts and NCCIs. So if you are new to data analysis or you've been hearing about data analysis, data science, and the like, and then you just need. Oh, please! I'm hearing a noise. I'm hearing some noise here, rather. So if you're new to the field and then you need more knowledge about the field, and then this training is for you. So, and also if you're already in the field and then you need to skill up to with one or two things with Power BI, this field is for you. So we would take it step by step, line by line, and then we would make sure that we'll break down everything, and then we would be fine with that. Is Miss Abigail in class?
Yes, I am. Good afternoon.
All right. Good afternoon, Miss Abigail. So before I continue, we are data line analytics and consulting we are the one putting this together. So this is a team actually that consists of 4 people for now, and then the facilitators are myself, Mr. Sarumi, Daniel, Miss Abigail, and then Mr. Wale. But then they will introduce themselves one after the other. But let me start from myself. So I'm Cholo Adesino. I work as a data analyst and a digital marketer. So basically, I've worked with quite a number of brands, and then I've worked and mostly, or let me say, I've worked more as a freelancer and also as a client personnel. So, Mrs. Daniel, Mr. Daniel, you can introduce yourself to the class.
Hey, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to class today. So I'm Daniel Sarimi. I'm a data analyst, and I work with SDSD Prestige Multinationals. And also, I'm a data analyst trainer, and I'm going to be taking you through Power BI today. So that's just a brief introduction of me. So we get to know each other well.
All right. So,
So I'm on to Miss Abigail.
Mr. Abigail.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olajide Ayomide Abigail. I am a data analyst. Currently, I serve as a data analyst in an insurance company, Leadway Assurance. I am also a data analyst trainer, and in this class, I'll be training you guys on Excel. Thank you.
Okay. So, Mr. Wale.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Adewale Akumun. I am a database administrator, database manager, and data engineer. I have worked for Fort Hoy Petroleum and Gas, which is currently known as Adova PLC, which I designed a database for them, and also the finance worksheet for the company. I'm currently working with Hans J Research Consult, which we um, conduct a research for community and on some other aspect of the uh, some other aspect too. Currently, we are working on a research of Lagos State and Lagos State schools in particular, which I serve as a data collator and database manager, database administrator, and I process the data, which is in form of data engineer for analytics. How will be the one taking the SQL, that is SQL structured query language for this class? Thank you.
All right. Those are the facilitators of the class. So, now let's move on to the content for today. My time is fast spent and have to move fast. All right. So, data line analytics and consulting. I'm sure that some of us or a lot of us might not have heard about data line before, or this is just our first time of hearing data lines. So actually, we our core our responsibilities are training and outsourcing. So by training, I mean that we actually train folks on data analysis, business intelligence, and with the tools and relevant tools in data analysis. So we train people, we mentor on data analysis, and then we outsource. As what I mean is, if you have a data set that you want to get insights from, and then you need specialists to help you with the 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 data set to get insight from it. You can reach out to us, and then we'll work on your data set, and then we'll give you a report about it. So that's basically what we do. So basically, we've trained over 200 students in data analysis and business intelligence, and some of them are in Nigeria, some of them outside Nigeria, and sometimes we hold free classes like this once in every 3 months, and then to bring data analysts together. And if you're an enthusiast too, you would start your career path through our trainings and the like. So we've certified 2 cohorts who have taken the free program. So the cohorts started last year. It's all started last year, 2020, in the midst of the pandemic and the like. So, and we actually also run a mentorship program for students using the data analysis tools in their respective industries. So we don't just train, we also mentor. That is very important, because mentorship is like, it's just You cannot undermine it. You cannot underestimate the importance of learning from someone who has been in that field for a long time or for a while. You understand? So it all started um like that. So basically, we started this team because we observed a gap in the labor market in Nigeria and the educational system. Because, for example, I would always say that till now, I don't know of any school yet who offer first degree in data analysis in Nigeria. I've not seen any school yet who does that. And if we if we are in line with the trends, we would realize that this field or this niche is fast growing. And in fact, a report by the World Economic Forum said that by next 5 years or 6 years, data analysis and business intelligence would be one of the world's most sought skill. And imagine that in Nigerian schools, as of now, we still do not have schools taking this course as a first degree. So you would do yourself a lot of good if you would learn skills that are needed in the industries and not just because we have been used to studying chemistry, physics, biology the conventional way, and then we have forgotten that this century is, I mean, is actually evolving, and then new skills are in demand, new jobs, new set of digital tools and the like. So we actually forget that, and then and one thing I know with Nigeria is that we are usually slow, to take actions, especially in our public institutions and parastatals. So this came as a result of the gap we actually saw that students or folks or people need to actually get skills that are relevant in this century and not just the conventional ones that we have in school. For example, when I was in my final year, my lecturer was saying something like he was using the notes for when he was an undergraduate to teach us in class, and he was happy about it. Well, I don't see why you should be happy about that, because are you saying that there's not been improvements in this sector since then, and then still the same notes you used 20 years ago? Because now he's a doctor now. So are you saying that the same notes you used years ago is still the same thing you are using now? So that shows that our educational system is actually backward, and then we have to skill up to actually meet up with the requirements of this century. So that was why we started this team, and I'm grateful that between when we started and now we have been actually able to impact a lot of folks and a lot of people with our trainings and our courses. So very fast, I'm out of time here. Let's move to what we would do today. So this is the outline for this class. We're going to start with introduction to data analysis in general, and then we'll move to the tools of data analysis. But then we would focus on just three for now. which is Excel, Power BI, and SQL. And then we'll move on to the practical section where we would use the Power BI to extract and transform the data, and then run a few analyses, and then would see how we can generate insights from the data set. Personally, this niche or this field is a very interesting field that if you actually put your concentration in, you would really enjoy, because it just looks like you are playing with figures. So it's actually very interesting, and I would want us to actually get the best from it. So, and then would have a Q&A to discuss about the Q&A. If you have a question during the class, would ask that. So, and then would close the class too. So this class would be interactive, but we have the session for the interactive session. So we'll be notified when that time arrives, or when the time is right, rather. So we also have some past students in this class that may want to give one or two speech. So and then let me hand over the baton to my colleague, Ms. Abigail, to start the introduction to data analysis. So, Ms. Abigail, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. So let me stop sharing my screen now so that you can start sharing yours.
Okay, once again, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I am Ayomide Olajide, as I introduced earlier. In this section, I'll be taking you guys. Mr. Tolu, please, can you help me mute every other person that is unmuted now? Okay, so in this section, I will be taking you guys through the introduction to data analytics. I'm going to show you through the process of data analysis, why you should learn data analysis, and what skills you are going to gain when you learn data analysis. Starting with what data analysis is. Okay, I don't just want to start this class like that. I want someone, I know I know that most of us would have heard one thing or the other about data analysis. Can somebody, just one person, tell me what he or she knows about data analysis? Can raise your hand, then my colleague will pick someone. Okay, Oladayo. Olujobi Oladayo. Can I have the mic, please? Oladayo, kindly unmute yourself. Okay, who else? There are several hands up. Okay, we have Taiwo. Taiwo. Owonifari, please. What do you know about data analysis?
Data analysis is the process of using the process of organizing, manipulating, and retrieving of data.
Organizing, manipulating, and what? You said, and what?
Retrieving of data. Retrieving of data.
Retrieving of data, yes.
Yes.
You are correct.
Okay, ma'am.
Then what else? You have something?
No, I don't have anything else to say.
Okay, data analysis is the process of organizing, manipulating, and receiving
And
of
retrieving
data.
of that.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the definition is almost correct. Only that you didn't tell us why are we organizing the data? Why do we want to retrieve our data? Why do we manipulate the data? Is to make an
And
informed decision. We want to get something from the data.
something
Please,
like
if you
that.
are not speaking, can you kindly mute yourself?
IMD, sorry, we can't see your slide.
Okay,
Can
thank
I
you,
continue
Daniel.
talking?
Okay, yes,
Can
you
I
can.
continue
You
talking?
can continue. Yes, you can.
The retrieval of that, because data analysis, data itself is the inputting and out, is the inputting of data like documents, numbers, and other things. So it's a daily thing. It's a thing that needs to be manipulated, and you can delete and you can also restore. That is where I see it also.
Okay, yes. And everything you've said now is because of one end result. We need to make a decision with the data we have. We want to derive something. We have some questions that needs to be answered. That is why we need data analysis. Okay, thank you very much. So here on my slide, I said data analysis is the process of using organizations, individual or government data to determine what happened. Now, note this, you use your data set. Why you need your data or why you carry out analysis is to determine what happened. You want to know what happened. Then what happened, you want to know why did it happen. And also, after you've known why it happened, you want to know, okay, if things continue like this, what will happen in the nearest future? That is where you use you predict the future with data analysis too. Then now, why I said your explanation earlier on, your definition wasn't complete is after you've done all this analysis, you need to recommend solutions to them. It's not only about stating out a problem. It's not only about highlighting the problem or knowing why there's a problem. Data analysis, as a data analyst, you have to know how to recommend solutions to those problems. So that's simply what data analysis is all about. I have an illustration here. Now, there has been a decrease in company sales for the past months. You've been hired as a data analyst to find out what is the cause of the decline in the sales and how it can be overturned. Now, this takes us back to this definition. Here now, we said there has been a decrease in the company sales. You are going to be using the organization's data. I think you understand what I said, process of using organization's data now. You'll be using the organization's data this time around because it is a company's sales you want to analyze. You want to know, okay, they told us what happened. Okay, they told us, oh, there has been a decrease in the sales for the past month. But this, what happened is not the exact. It's still speculations. They said there's a
Mr.
decrease in
Abigail,
sales.
can you
Yes,
make your screen bolder so that we can see your screen well?
it is bold. I don't know, probably. How
Yeah,
about now? Is it better?
all right, let's continue.
Okay. So after, okay, I stopped where I said after you've known what, okay, yeah, they gave us what happened, but this is not the exact thing. It's still speculation. They told us there's a decrease in the sales. Now, to what extent is the decrease? You carry out your analysis to find out what happened. You carry out your analysis to find out what happened. Now, let's assume you discover that there is 300,000 reduction in sales, and then that was in the first month. In the second month, there was 250 reduction, and in the third month, there was 280 reduction. You see now that with the analysis, you came out with, okay, a specific reduction. Now, you told them, okay, now, this is what exactly happened. Yes, I find out with my analysis, there is reduction, but And now I know the exact reduction and I know the trend. The first month it was 250 and 300. The second month it was 250. The third month it was 280. The next question that comes to your mind is, oh, why this reduction? Okay, you told us there is a reduction in sales. Why this reduction? I'm trying to explain this definition on bit by bit so you understand data analysis. So another time when you are asked what data analysis is, you don't need to cram definitions. Just explain how it is. Now, you said, why this reduction? Then you go again, you continue your analysis, you carry out another analysis, you come back with, there is reduction because the company's advertisement has not been effective. Oh, the advertisement they've been carrying out have not been converting clients. Oh, now you know why there's reduction. Now you tell the manager, this is why there's reduction there. Oh, now we see. Can you help us predict the future? If we continue like this with this trend, what is likely? Is this sales likely to increase later on, or it will continue with this reduction? Then you say, okay, fine, I have my data set. Let me continue with the analysis. Then you find out, oh, if we continue like this, so there is no prospect for us. The reduction will continue this way. Then the next question that will come is, how can we go about this? How can we solve this problem? I think you now see why I said, and also what can be done to improve the state. You recommend solutions to the problem also. So that's just the process of data analysis. That's just what basically what data analysis is about. I think with the explanation, this illustration now, you know, there's a decrease in company sales. You told them, okay, there is a decrease of 300,000, 200,000, 350,000. You tell them, you show them the trend of the decrease. Then you told them the reason for the decrease is the advert. You told them, oh, if they continue like this, there will be continuous decrease. And then you recommend for them, okay, you told them, oh, the recommendation you gave them, probably you tell them, oh, your advertisement team should re-strategize. They should think of how to make better adverts, or they should check how to direct, where they direct their advertisements. You see, now that is that on definition of data analysis. Now, data analysis is a process. I'm going to show you the process of data analysis. It is simply the process of gathering, examining, cleaning, transforming, modeling, analyzing, and visualizing your data, all with the aim of what? Of making an informed decision. Now, this process is this. Now, when you are employed as a data analyst, they told you, okay, the sales is reducing. We need you to help us analyze. The first thing you ask for is, where is your data set? Where is the data I am going to use? Now, they will not tell you, oh, our data is on the database system, or oh, our data is on the system, we are going to send it to you. This and that. That process of getting the data together is you gathering your data. So the first thing you are going to do as a data analyst is first get the data. Let me see the data I want to use. After you must have gotten this data, then the next thing to do is to examine the data. You need to, okay, when they give you data that you've not seen the data before, what do? You go through the data, you look at it. Oh, does this data have the necessary variables I need to carry out my analysis? Or is this data even clean? Is this data straightforward? Will I need to remodel it? So that is just examining the data. Then after you must have examined your data and understand the data, by examining the data, you familiarize yourself with the data set. Now you clean your data. Data set doesn't come clean. They don't come straightforward. You clean them mostly, except if somebody have done the cleaning for you. Except that data set need cleaning. This process of cleaning now, there are stages to it. There is a process again. There is steps you take through cleaning, but data line will explain that better. That this is what we teach in data line. We take you out through the process of cleaning the data. Now, after you must have cleaned the data, what comes to you transform data. You transform this data to suit what you want. Transforming and remodeling work hands in hand, and modeling the data work. Modeling the data, probably you need a particular variable that is not in the data. Okay, you do 2 times 2. Okay, you add this variable that you have and another variable that you have to get another variable. That is you modeling the data. I can't, if I start explaining, the time will be gone. Or these are the things data line will teach you how you model you model your data. You model, then after modeling your data set have been okay now, then you now analyze the data. Now remember that you are carrying out this analysis to do what? To get an information. After the analysis, now you visualize the data to tell them, see, the data set they gave you, it will look like jargon. Like when you see it, you don't understand anything. There's no information, or it will take you large time to even get one information that might not even be complete. But now when you now visualize the data, it's meaningful. It's in a just short glance, anybody can come and say, looking at this visualization, say, oh, this is that. That is the reason for visualizing the data. Now, all this, everything I've been saying is with the aim of generating insights to facilitate informed decision making. You see the process: you gather, you examine, you clean, you transform, you model, you analyze, you visualize. Data line will teach you everything, how to do this step by step. Why data analysis? Why do we analyze our data set? To generate reports, to uncover hidden insights. I told you that when they give you a data set, there are hidden insights, there are informations there that can't be seen to all until you visualize, until you analyze, then you get the hidden insights. Now, the insight you've gotten, the hidden insight you got from the data set, now you use it to make a data-driven decision making. You are not making decision based on speculation again. You are not saying, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Now your decision is informed. Your data already told you. You are making a decision based on what you got from your data sets, the information the data gave you. Now is what you are making your decision based on. Now, why do you even need to make your decision making? Is to optimize your business performance. So the business is already a business that makes decision based speculation. You are not so sure, but now you are very sure. You are informed. You know, okay, this is our data. This is the data we collected from our customers and everything, and we know, and our data is telling us this is what is wrong. And now we say this is the recommendation we got. Now we are so sure, at least out of 100%, we know, okay, 90%, 99.5% sure that if we follow these recommendations now, we are getting results. Why data analysis? Now, the skills that you gain as a data analyst, when you learn data analysis, you get to learn data cleaning skills. You get to learn how to explore data, exploratory data analysis. Then you get to learn basic statistics. Excuse me, please. I'll be right back, please. I'm sorry.
So mute.
Sorry.
Who's
You don't have one.
Okay, so I guess she was disturbed with the noise, so she will soon be back on. She'll soon be back on. But can anybody see
or
one or
should
two
or should the
things
one the noise was coming
that
from?
I guess so? I guess it's her environment
Hello, I
that
am really sorry for the
that's not making it
break.
very favorable.
I am
All
sorry.
right, all
Okay, I
right.
had to attend to something. Okay, so
Okay.
And
now
Miss Abigail, please
when you learn,
check your time, please.
when you learn, you're saying something to me?
Yeah, I said please be mindful of your time.
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
I'm really sorry.
thank you.
Okay, so as when you learn data analysis, you learn basic statistics too. You get the knowledge of basic statistics, then you learn how to visualize your data. What you see people post on LinkedIn is the aftermath, the end result of their analysis. Those beautiful visuals you see, those beautiful dashboards, is the end result of the analysis they've conducted. They've gone through this process, I said, and now when you learn data analysis, you learn how to make these visualizations, these beautiful dashboards as well. Types of data analysis. Okay, so these types of data analysis, I'm going to explain to you in a way that without even just the name later on, you will remember what is it. Descriptive analysis. Now, if you recall in my definition of data analysis, I said data analysis, you use it to answer the question, what happened? First thing first, what happened? You want to know what is happening. Now, the process of you analyzing your data to answer the question, what happened, is descriptive analysis. You are describing the situation, what happened or what has happened. Now, then the next thing is, after you've known what happened, if you remember in my definition of data analysis, I said the next thing you would want to know is, why did this happen? Why did it happen? Now, that's diagnostic analysis. You are diagonizing your data set to know why it happened. Now, after knowing why it happened, I said the next thing you would want to know is, what will happen in the nearest future? If this continues like this, I want to predict the nearest future. That's predictive analysis. The process of you analyzing your data to get information on what will happen in the nearest future is your predictive analysis. Now, after everything, you now recommend solutions to the company. There, you are prescribing solutions. That's prescriptive analysis. Just the 4 basic types of analysis. Describe the situation, descriptive analysis. You diagnose your data sets to know what is happening. That's diagnostic analysis. Then you predict the future. Okay, this might happen. It's not like you're saying this will happen, but you are saying this, if we continue like this might happen. Okay, what is the probability of this happening? Of 100, okay, 90% it will happen, or 80% it will happen. Now they know what we are looking forward to. Then after that, you prescribe solution, prescriptive analysis. I hope with this I am able to explain the types of analysis. Anybody, do you understand?
Yes, we got it.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
we do.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So now, to carry out all these analyses, we have different tools, different analysis tools. We have the Microsoft Excel, we have the Microsoft Power BI, we have the Tableau, we have our structured query language, this is the SQL. There is Python, there is R, and there is IBM Cognos. These are different analysis tools, and there are more than this. But in data line, we are taking you the basic, the most like the most used analytical tools. You understand? The most used ones, the ones that are in demand. That's the Excel. Excel is the basic. You must. It's a must. As a data analyst, you must know Excel. Taking you through Excel, Microsoft Power BI. After Excel, the next sort after analytical tool is Microsoft Power BI. Then you might want to know the SQL to structured query language. So data line is focusing on those 3: the Microsoft Excel, the Microsoft Power BI, and the SQL. Now, there are notions that they say about data analysis that you need to debunk. Wrong about the data analysis field. You need to debunk this notion. Number 1, they say you need a degree in computer science or statistics to be able to explore this field. No, raw. I am graduate of economics. I had my BSc in economics. I am working as a data analyst in an insurance firm. You see, these 3 things are not correlating. I am an economist. I am working as a data analyst in an insurance firm. That you need computer science, statistics, or mathematics? No. No matter your background, no matter what you study, you can take data analysis as a career. You can start it. It doesn't choose or background of study or anything. Another notion you need to debunk is, without programming knowledge, you can't learn data analysis. No, you can learn data analysis without programming knowledge. Now we have the intermediate data analysis, we have advanced data analysis, we have beginners. Now, why I said you can learn programming, without programming knowledge, you can learn data analysis. For a beginner, you don't need data, you don't need programming. For intermediate, you still don't need programming. But when you are going into advanced data analysis, you might not be needing, it's not you might, you need to know how to program. But now, why I said you should debunk this is, some will say, I don't know how to program, I don't know how to write code, I can't do data analysis. No, you can start. You can get to, you finish your beginners, even the intermediate self, you will get there. But the advanced is now where you might need to know the program. You might need your programming knowledge. Another notion you need to debunk is, he said only big organizations employ data analysts. No, that one is a total no. It's a total no. Not only big organizations need data analysts. In these days where all businesses want to make, there's somebody disturbing me. I think there's a mic that is on. Can you help me look at it too? Okay, so only big organizations need to employ data analysts. No, it's a no. In this generation, where businesses want to make informed decisions. They don't just want to make their decisions based on speculations. And you see that in these days, you see even startups are their positions for data analysts in startups. If you see advertisement for employment position, you see many startup firms, they need data analysts. They know what it's about. They know the importance of data analysts in their company. So they tend to employ more. Not only big organizations. Big organizations, they understand the importance, and startup firms also understand the importance of. They want to make informed decisions. They want to move forward. They also want to they want to compete. So now another notion is the important aspect to learn in data analysis is the tools. No, it's not the tools. You don't just learn the tools. Okay, now you know Excel is a basic tool. I said it earlier on that you must know Excel. I know almost everybody, if not everybody, knows how to use Excel. But if I tell you when we start data analysis class, you will discover you don't know up to half of what Excel entails. You know Excel fine, but there are still things you do in Excel for data analysis. And as I told you earlier on, that data analysis is, okay, now imagine the way I explained, I gave you this brief introduction to what data analysis is about. And now you just know how to use Excel. Now you now come and say you are a data analyst. You don't know the process of cleaning. You don't know how to use your VLOOKUP, your index match. You don't know how to validate your data. You don't know data validation. You come and say, because you know how to use Excel, you're a data analyst, or because you know how to use Power BI. Probably you watched a video online and you know how to use the tool. The tool doesn't make you a data analyst. You understand? So it's not just about learning the tool. Now, another notion is you need a lot of experience to land you a job or an intern. No. Once you know what you are doing, once you learn and you practice, you don't need a lot of experience. I told you earlier on that I serve as a data analyst in an insurance firm, Midway Assurance. Yes, their corporate office at School. I have just 1 year plus experience in data analysis. So it's not until you get 5 years, not like they call it 5 years, 5 years experience. No, what they need is, can you do our job? Can you solve our problems for us? That's the major thing. When they call you for interviews, they can give you questions to answer, like the illustration here they give you, and by the time we are done training you in data line, you will be able to ace any interview. That one is sure. For as data analysis is concerned, you'll be able to ace it. So now tell me, why would you be scared to apply for a job? No, you don't need to be scared. Now, now there are two sides to this. It is very easy to land a data job.
Ms. Abigail, please round off this. Thank you. Just round off.
Okay. It is very easy to land a data analyst job. As I said, it is not you don't need a lot of experience to get a data analyst job. As well, you need to know what you are doing to get a data analysis job. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you, Mr.
All right.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your explanation. Thank you very much, Ms. Abigail.
You're welcome.
All right. That was an awesome presentation. Please, if we have questions, please let's note them down. There'll be a time for Q&A where we can ask our questions and then we'll get answers. So please make sure you note your questions. Very, very important. So now we are moving on to the next thing, the tools for data analysis. So Mr. Abigail, Mr. Sarumi, and Mr. Wale would take this session one after the other. It will be short because of time, but then let's make do with what we have. So, Miss Abigail, you can start with Microsoft Excel as a tool for data analysis.
Okay, Microsoft Excel as a tool for data analysis. I mentioned that in my earlier explanation. I said Microsoft Excel is the basic for data analysis. As a data analyst, you need to know how to use your Microsoft Excel very, very well. When I started my Microsoft Excel journey, because I already had little knowledge of Microsoft Excel in my university days, I used it for my project. I felt, oh, I know how to use Microsoft Excel. I jumped to Power BI. Let me tell you, I came back to it. I started from scratch. I started from Microsoft Excel from beginner till advanced before I moved forward, because it is just the basic. You need to know it. You need to know how to use it. Now, what Excel can do now, we said you gather your data. With Excel, it is easier to gather your data with Excel than any other tool. You can use it to gather your data, then you use it to examine your data. It's easier to examine your data with Microsoft Excel. Then the cleaning now, you do
We're
the
not seeing
cleaning
your
with
screen,
Microsoft
please.
Excel. No slide for that though. No slide for that. Then it is easier to clean your data with Microsoft Excel. Then after you must have cleaned with Microsoft Excel, you cannot decide, okay, I want to continue my analysis with Microsoft Power BI, because Microsoft Power BI provides more visuals, okay, it provides more beautiful visuals. But let me tell you, Microsoft Excel too provides beautiful visualizations. I'll show you a dashboard I created at my early days as a data analyst when I started data analysis. This dashboard, A to Z, I did it with Excel. And is this not, and I know you will admit this is a beautiful dashboard. I did this with Excel. Excel is very important. It has many things you can do with Excel. And aside that, it has many things you can do with Excel. It's the basics for data analysis. You must know how to use Excel for data analysis. Thank you very much. Do I have Mr. Daniel?
Sorry, can you go back to the other slide?
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, you like my slide?
Yes, I do. I like the slide.
Thank you very much. Okay,
All
so
right, Mr.
Mr.
Sarumi.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I am Nick. Can you stop sharing, please, so I can start sharing my screen?
I did that already.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone, once again. So in this section, I will be taking you to Power BI, just a short presentation about Power BI. Let me see. Let me present my screen. Hey, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so I'll start with what is Power BI, so we can know what Power BI is and the function of Power BI. So Power BI, the BI in Power BI actually means business intelligence. So Power BI is a business intelligence tool for data analysts, and I used to call Power BI Almighty Power BI because with Power BI you can do a lot of things. You can connect to a lot of data sources, and from A to Z of data analysis, starting from descriptive.
Mr. Sarumi? Oh, I guess he has a network connection issues.
I think the network is good almost everywhere.
He will soon be back. He will soon be back. He will soon be back.
I'm saying I think the network is bad everywhere. Not mine is also bad. I think it's everywhere.
Oh, sorry about that. You get the class recording. You will get the class recording.
Nigeria network will be here, sir. Thank God.
Okay, so Mr. Wale.
Yeah, I'm here. But I'm trying to allow Daniel to speak first because I have the slide with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Mr. Daniel will soon join back. He had a network disconnection. Okay. So I hope
I don't know.
we are
I don't know
enjoying
if I
the
can. I don't know if I can connect at my hand yet too.
Okay, if you can share your screen, it would be
Yeah.
nice. So you just take the SQL where Mr. Daniel fixes it.
But you can go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So okay, I think he's back online now. Mr. Daniel. Okay. Um, can anybody tell us if they enjoyed the last session on Excel? You know what you've thought that Excel could do, and then you find out that it could do more and the likes. Oh, if you have experience with using
I
Excel, what do
guess
you
the
think?
connection battery was down, so he's trying to join with his phone.
Okay, all right. There's no problem about that. So, like I was saying, can anybody share with us what they learned from the last session before we move on? For the Excel and for the introduction, just in 2 sentences at most, please. um,
Okay, good afternoon.
all right, good afternoon.
Okay, I'm Akin.
Good afternoon.
All
Um,
right,
what I've learned from the past session, firstly, is that you can be a data analyst irrespective of your field, irrespective of what you study, irrespective of your
all
degree.
right,
And also, Excel is an important tool when talking of data analysis. So anyone that wants to go into analysis should be um, ready to know the beginning to the end of Excel. So I think that's what I've learned.
all right. Thank you very much for that. Okay, Mr. Olani also wants to speak. Mr. Olani wants to speak. Okay, I guess he stopped. So is Mr. Daniel back? Is Mr. Daniel back? Okay, I guess he's not yet back. So who else wants to say what they learned in the last session? Who else? Okay, I can't see
And can you
anybody
see my
raising
screen
his
now,
or her
Tolu?
hand here. Okay, yes, we can see your screen now. Are you fully
Okay.
back?
Yeah, at least for this presentation.
All right, all right. So just
Okay, now, so as
continue.
I was saying about Power BI, as I was discussing earlier, I said Power BI is a business intelligence tool, and with Power BI, you can gather your data. Like they said, you can do with Excel. You can also gather your data in Power BI. You can clean your data. Like it is very very easy to clean data in Power BI. All you just need is to press buttons, few buttons, and your data will be clean. So then also you can do a lot of analysis with Power BI. We have a lot of visuals in Power BI. It is easy to create visuals in Power BI. So with Power BI, you don't need to stress yourself so much. Everything is just easy with Power BI. Then also, Power BI allows you to share insights across your organization. So let's just assume that I am in Nigeria here, then I have one of our employee working in the UK. Power BI allows the two of you to work on a particular project at once. That's how important Power BI is. So then moving to the next one, the core, sorry.
Please, can you use
Um,
a landscape mode? Because I think your screen is, we can see your screen very clearly.
like right now, you can see my screen clearly now.
Yeah, it's kind of small, the font, so we actually need it to be a bit bolder. Yeah, okay.
How about like this?
Yeah, this is, this should be better. This
Okay.
is better.
So I'm sorry about this. I don't know what happened to my system, but I'm coming back up. So we have the core areas of Power BI. Those are like the functions of Power BI. So for Power BI, the first thing I have here is data preparation. So with Power BI, like I said earlier, you can gather your data from any sources. We have a lot of sources you can connect your data to, either Excel, either a CSV file, even though it's a database, SQL server, and other data source, you can connect your Power BI to it. Then also, when you are done connecting your Power BI, in case your data is dirty, because most times, and it has even been said that 80% of the data sets you are going to be working with will be dirty. So just imagine that. So when you are working, don't expect to meet a clean data set. So with Power BI, you can actually clean this data set. It is very easy to clean this data set. Then also for analysis, Power BI can conduct any form of analysis, starting from the descriptive analysis, the diagnostic. If you want to predict, like you want to forecast, Power BI can help you with that. Also, if you want to create a report, which is if you want to create a report, you can also do this in Power BI. So Power BI can cover you in all forms of data analysis. Then the visualization aspect also. With Power BI, you can create beautiful visuals and dashboard. And that's one of the reasons I love Power BI, because it is easy to design Power BI. Very easy. So that's another core area in Power BI. Then last, like I said earlier, sharing and collaboration. Like I said, if you have employee in different location, you can actually link up together on Power BI to work on a certain project. So Power BI makes life easy for data analysts. Let me just put it like that. So then moving to the next one, we have the tool sets, Power BI tool sets. The first, okay, in Power BI, we have three different applications. We have three different applications. We have the first one, which is the Power BI desktop. The second one is the Power BI service. While lastly, we have Power BI mobile. Power BI desktop is majorly what you are going to use for your analysis. Let me just state it like that. And Power BI desktop is what we ask you to download on your system. So majorly you download Power BI desktop on your system, and that's what you are going to use for your analysis. So in Power BI desktop, you can gather your data, you can prepare your data, then you can also model your data in Power BI. We are still going to talk more about data modeling in next section. Then also you can create beautiful visuals, like I said, in Power BI desktop. I'm talking about Power BI desktop now. Then also for reports, you can create your report in Power BI. Then for Power BI service, Power BI service is a cloud, should I say, an online application or a cloud service. So the major usefulness of Power BI, like is sharing and collaboration. So in case, like I explained earlier, in case you have employee in different location, Power BI service is going to allow you to connect. Power BI desktop cannot do that. So now let me just explain the flow. So when you are done creating your dashboard, your visuals in Power BI desktop, in case you want to work with another employee, you have to publish that dashboard to the Power BI service. So Power BI service will take it up and it will allow two or more employees to work on that particular project. So that's like the major usefulness of Power BI service. Then also the last one, we have Power BI mobile. Power BI mobile is like is an application, is a mobile application which allows you to view reports. So majorly what you do on Power BI mobile is just to view reports. And the usefulness is that most times, or not every time, you are going to be with your system. So in case you've published a particular project to your Power BI service, with Power BI mobile, you can access the reports, you can view the project on it even without you being on your system. So that's the usefulness of Power BI mobile, and that's the three tool sets that we have in Power BI. The three tools that we have in Power BI: the first, Power BI desktop, then Power BI service, and Power BI mobile. So I think that's all I'm going to say about Power BI now. Don't worry, we are still going to go into the practical application, how we can use Power BI in the next section. So I think yeah, I'm going to hand over to Mr. Wale to take us through SQL.
All right, guys. Very insightful. All your talk so far has been so great, and I'm really in love with it. Okay, good evening, everyone. It's already evening. I'm Adewale, as I said the other time, the database administrator, database manager. So here now, I just quickly want to take you through about SQL, structured query language. Of course, you would have been hearing about it all along. This and that, here and there, all over all. You could have just seen it on the fly alone. Oh, SQL, what is it about? Well, it's not a big thing, not a bad thing, or something huge to use. SQL, it's called a structured query language. It was invented back then in the called SQL, Structured English Query Language. So at the long run, those that were in charge of designing the hardware and the cyber, they found out that it works with a relational database, that there is something that when we have this data in its data banks, they are a bit related. And for us to talk to it, there must be a language that we use to communicate to it. So they invented structured query language. So SQL, like I said, SQL, structured English query language, later changed to structured query language, had a long run in 1986 or thereabouts. Why? Because the SQL that was used then was a trademark name for. So uh, after after that, they keep on using it, and then it's useful in so many cases whereby you can easily use it to do any analytics you want to do, either in the case of data science, data analytics, or any aspect of data science jobs. Like one of my colleagues, I sent it yesterday, that data analyst in particular can work in different aspects: sales analyst, financial analyst, investment analyst, any aspect you can easily work with it. Like as I am now, I work as a research analyst and I use SQL. And let me quickly give you a little glance, because I can see, because of my time, of the Power BI that I want to go deep dive into. SQL, like I said, it's a language, as I've just defined it. It's called a structured query language, a language that you use to query where you keep your data in a structured form. A language that you use to query where you keep your data. Where you keep your data is called a database. A database is a place whereby you just stored your information or your data in an electronically computer system. A place where you keep your information or your data. A data is an information that you can just record. A data is a recorded fact or information that you can just record or keep stored, either raw or unstructured. Why the information is a combination of those data. Like when you have it gathered together, you have them to be called informations. But the data are what you can just record, and it's like a fact that you can just look into it and then bring out an information about it. I do post on LinkedIn that says that data cannot be dirty. It is only if and only the kind of analysis you want to do on it doesn't befit the data that you have at hand. So when you now have a data stored somewhere whereby it is called a database, and you want to make use of it, what will you use to get those data? You use a language that you use to query it in a structured form. a language that you use to query it, the database, in a structured form, which is called SQL. I call it SQL. If you call it SQL or SQL, no worry, nobody is going to query you or nobody is going to get mad at you. But I love to call it SQL. So SQL has two major importance, which is it manages huge amount of data. Let me tell you this: when my colleague Miss Abigail, I was talking about Excel, it doesn't get to the level of huge amount of data. I was trying to see whether she's going to talk about it or not. She doesn't make mention of huge amount of data. And let me tell you this: Excel max is only 1 million rows of data. But when you get 1 billion rows of data, that's when SQL can just start querying database. It's not that if you only have 5 data on it, like 5 rows of data or 5 information stored on the database, it's not that it's going to query it. It's going to query it. It's going to bring it out for you. But when you have 1 billion rows, that's when you are just starting using SQL. So it can manage huge volumes of data. And when you now have those volumes of data pulled out on SQL, you still have a linkage to SQL up to Microsoft Excel and also to Power BI and some other services that you can use to carry out analysis. And guess what? SQL itself as the language and the database tool that you'll be using can be used to run some analysis. It can create your pivot table, your data modeling, and data cleansing that you want to do on Microsoft Excel or Power BI. So, and you might be wondering, how is this SQL kind of being like that? It serves as a gateway for other data science and data analyst job in particular. And like I said, you might be wondering, why is it like that? Is it that it's kind of a big tool that it has everything involved in it? Let me just say it is, because it helps in integrating some skills, like it does some scripting languages. It helps in bringing in some scripting languages like all these languages of programming, JavaScript, C, C++, C# or whatever. It helps in making use of it. But the importance of using this is that it's just a declarative language. It doesn't have big things in it. Just like select this for me, bring this out for me. That's why it all already has the optimizer and an algorithm to process whatever information you give to it. Select Adewale's the information for me from the database. It's going to pull it out. Unlike other programming languages, where you're going to say there is a database or information of Adewale on this table, pull out this, bring it out for me, and it's going to bring it out. No, it already knows. SQL, SQL, structured query language, already know that on the database, any kind of database tool that you want to use, it has that information stored. You just give it that information. Select this for me, year on year, month on month, year-end analysis, or whatever kind of analysis you want to do, current date information. It will bring it out for you. And like I said, that it serves as a gateway, which I want to expatiate again, is that as it is useful to the case of programming languages, it's also useful to the case of analytics tools too. Like I've just explained, like I've just introduced myself as a research analyst, whereby I go to the feed, gather data, and if I don't want to go to the feed, I just do every data that I want to gather, get it online. When I get those data, I gather them, I keep them stored on the SQL, on the database too, rather, database too. And is it that I cannot just use those, I cannot just gather those data and keep it on either Microsoft Excel? Like I said, it maxes a little million through a million rows of data. When I have the data stored on the Microsoft Excel, it is vulnerable to some attacks. Data crashing, data changing, or data accessing by an unknown person, or my data, my computer just having an issue whereby I don't know how to get it back in the case of disaster recovery. All of those things are SQL can do, which if you have your tools installed on the computer, and whenever anything's happened, or hello, am I using time because I'm trying to hear something underground?
Yeah, Mr. Ali.
Yes, sir.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Let me quickly run through this. Okay. Thanks
Very
for
fast.
calling my attention. So,
Yeah.
when you have those data stored on the
Sir, I'm not
structured
hearing you.
hello?
I'm
Hello?
not hearing us.
You are not?
Hi, we can hear you.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
hear
we can
something on
hear you.
that.
Just
Oh,
continue. Just continue.
all
Just
all
round
right,
up
all right.
and
When you have them, it's not going to be vulnerable. You could lock it, even if the person or the third party know how to make use of SQL to create the database, whereby any kind of tool you are using, the third party know how to use it. You can still lock and secure your data that is already stored in the database. You can give access to user or do any kind of actions you want to do to it. And the major part of it is that you can have the basic knowledge or intermediate knowledge or advanced knowledge of analytics without having knowledge of SQL, knowledge of structural query language, because at the long run of serving as a data analyst, business analyst, or data engineer, or whatever data works you want to do, you have to have the good knowledge of SQL, whereby you'll be using it to communicate to wherever you store data. So guys, um, being a data analyst is not only the job role of an analyst. Like I said, I call myself a research analyst, which I can do any operation for any firm or gather data or store data for anyone. You can still level up to aspect of your work in terms of analytics. Maybe like what you do as a sales, you can still be analyzing data in it. Then keep managing your data on SQL, and then analyzing it before you even take it to Power BI to just pull out visuals and do any kind of in-depth analysis you want to do. So, guys, we'd love to see you at the long run of the class, and then thanks to Hamadewale by name.
All right, so that's a good one by Mr. Adewale. Thank you for that. Can everyone hear me?
yes.
Okay. All right. So,
Yes.
Mr. Sarimi, are you in class?
Yeah, I'm in class. I'm
Yes,
in class.
can hear you.
All right. So, are you set for us?
Yeah, I am.
All right. So, this next session now would be going into the practical aspects of using Power BI as a tool for data analysis, and then this session you can decide to work along with the teacher, or uh, you pause. Then, so when you get the recording, you can always practice it, because if you try to work along with the instructor, you might not be as fast as should, and you know that the time is not on our side. So, Mr. Daniel, over to
Yeah.
you.
Okay. So now we are in the practical section of Power BI. Practical section of Power BI. So if you want to practice along with me, just open your Power BI desktop now. Very important.
Okay, can I share your screen,
So
please?
yeah, I will share my screen now. How many people are actually
Oh,
following me? How many people are going to
someone
practice
is
with me?
asking someone is asking how does she record? You don't have to record. The class is being recorded already, so you will be sent the link to download it. So just follow along. All right.
So how many people are practicing? Let me
All right,
see.
Mr.
So we can.
All right. Okay, Mr. Shuaib, Mr. Alima, and
Can you give
yes,
us a
I saw
second?
Alima. I saw Mr. Mustafa, Mr. Abimbola. I mean
How can I
Abimbola,
write?
Maxwell. Okay, so
Okay,
we
so
actually
good.
have quite a number of people
Uh,
following. But
Practicing, yeah.
like I said, if you cannot work with the pace, please don't shiver. You would get the recording of the class. We want to make sure that we do not exceed 6 p.m. in this class. Thank you. All right. So,
Okay, now thank you, Tolu. So I will assume that we've all opened our Power BI desktop. So when you open your Power BI desktop, this might not be the first page you get to see. Probably you get to see a yellow page. So when you get to see a yellow page, you don't have to panic. You don't have to, because I know some people will ask, should I sign in? What do I have to do? They have to create an account. You don't have to do anything. Just look at the top right corner and just click on the exit button of that yellow page, not of the actual software of the Power BI software. Look at the top right corner of the yellow page and click on cancel. I've done mine here, that's why I don't have it here. So now, and also, if you want to work along with me, if you want to practice along with me, then you must have your data sets on your system. Very important, because if you don't have a data set on your system, you won't be able to practice along with me. So I don't know if I should give like 2 minutes so everybody can prepare.
Someone is raising his hand. Booker. Okay, I guess it's fine.
So okay, 2 minutes.
Okay,
I'm giving out 2 minutes so everybody can prepare. So it can. Yeah, I understand. Just to make sure everybody's on the same page. Just 2 minutes. Because Power BI can be slow sometimes. I know about that. Power BI can be slow. So if your Power BI is slow in responding, don't panic. Power BI is very powerful, that's why. So I think it's 1 minute already.
You can continue, Mr. Sarumi.
So I should not
we'll get
wait,
class
right?
recording. So
okay,
yeah,
good.
we'll get class recording.
So this is the Power BI interface. This is where I work most times. This is what I use. This is what I use every time for my project and everything. And just a quick introduction to Power BI. The Power BI has three different phases, or let me say three different pages. In the first one, we have the report view. Okay, let me just say we have three different view in Power BI. The first one is the report view, and the report view is where we can see right now. This is what is on my screen right now. So in this report view, this is where you create your visuals, where you create your dashboard, where you create your report, anything you want to do, anything you want to present to the final user. This is where you are going to create it. And also, secondly, we have the data view. Data view, let me move to the data view. When you click on this icon here, if you can see my mouse, when you click on this icon here, this is where you have the data view. The data view is where you carry out your data modeling in case, okay, before that, the data view actually displays your data in a spreadsheet format. So you know what you see in Excel, the way you see your data in Excel when you open your data, that is the same way you're going to see it here in the data view. So also in the data view, like you do in your Microsoft Excel, you know, if you want to create a new column, you work on your spreadsheet. The same thing here. If you want to create a new column, you have to come to this data view to create that new column. So majority of your data modeling will be in the data view. Let me just say it like that. Then finally, we have the model view. This is the model view. And the function of the model view is to create relationships between different tables. So this is actually very important for a data analyst because you need to learn how to create relationship. So let me just give an illustration. Let's say you have 3 different tables, or let me just limit it to 2. Let's say you have 2 different tables you want to work with. Let's say you have the sales table and you have the employees table. The employees table is where you have the information of the employee, and the sales table is where you have the information concerning your sales. And you want to work, the objective you are working on is to determine what the sales of each employee. So in that case, that means you want to pick certain variables in the employee table, and you want to pick certain variables in the sales table. So for you to be able to work on these two tables together, you need to create a relationship between them. So that is why we have this model view. So what you do in the model view, as you can see with this icon here, is to create relationships. That's the major thing you do here. So that's just a brief introduction to uh, Power BI desktop. This is the Power BI desktop. Like I said in my first presentation, we have three two in our Power BI: Power BI desktop, Power BI service, and Power BI mobile. This is the desktop application. Then later we are going to show you that I'm not sure, maybe in this class, but we are going to get to know about the Power BI service and others too. So now let's get to work because we don't really have enough time. So the first thing we want to do as a data analyst, like Ayomide said, he said the first thing in data analysis data analysis process is to gather your data. So now we have our data. So we have to connect our Power BI desktop to our data set. That's the first thing we want to do. So to connect your Power BI desktop to your data, you move to this stay under the home ribbon. You look at this data tab. Then you are going to see get data. And you can also see the tooltip you have here. It says connect to data from multiple sources. So this is where you connect your data to any source you have. So when you click on get data, you have the common data sources, starting with Excel, Power BI desktop, and others. So in case your data source is not here, where your data reside is not here, then you can click on more. So when you click on more, it is going to display the full data source that you can connect your Power BI to. So you see, we have everything here. So because of time, okay. Because of time, we are going to
Mr. Daniel. Mr. Daniel, is in class. Oh, I guess he has network issues. He'll soon be back. But how many people are following?
I'm following, please.
Okay. All right, good.
I'm also
A lot of
following
people are
here.
following.
Yeah, I'm
All
following
right,
too.
I'm
nice,
also following here.
nice, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
okay. But just that the
In
network is
case you
giving
don't
me
understand
different.
anything, don't
For
worry about that. You get the recording, so you'll be able to
if they don't
practice.
understand anything, let them ask because I'm actually seeing some question on the chat box. Like someone asks, is the widescreen a database? I was just laughing. No. It's not actually a database. Oh, if not, it's because of time. Would have go deep dive into it. But then I will not want to interrupt that. It's just
Oh, yeah.
tool that you use to just keep your data, just like a Microsoft Excel. But because of the limitations that Microsoft Excel has, that's why we level up to database. And database has different versions, different types. We have for Oracles, we have for Microsoft, we have for IBM, we have for Sybase, we have for Postgres. There are so many. So many. So I would love to continue with this Power BI for because I would not want to interrupt the knowledge that the facilitator of Power BI has been implementing on you. So please, maybe after class we can just review a little about SQL. Thank you.
All right, that's all right. So while we're still waiting for Mr. Sarumi, if you do not, if you're unable to actually follow through, well, Mr. Sarumi is working on that. Don't worry, just relax and just watch the screen. Just watch the screen. So you would get the recording. Okay, someone says you cannot sign in into Power BI. You don't need to sign in. Just close that interface. You don't need to sign in at all. So you don't need your internet to use Power BI desktop. Yeah. So Mr. Dami,
Yes, I'm here.
how are you doing, Mr. Dami?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
It's nice having you around. So Mr. Dami is one of our past students in data line, and I'm very amazed at his speed now in analyzing data. We have a mentorship of that we actually mentor people in data analysis, and this time we had a data set that we shared for analysis, and then to my surprise, wasn't that within one day, Mr. Dami had already, analyzed the data, and then he had done the dashboard. I was so surprised. And then so, Mr. Dami, can you share your experience with data line in just 2 minutes before Mr. Sarami comes back on?
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Good afternoon,
All
everyone.
right.
My name is Damnola Larisomi, and I've been a part of data line class from the first cohort actually. So, as in the tutors are amazing, amazing people. I can't lie to you. Like they will give you full knowledge of all the tools you are going to use. When I started with them, I could not use Excel. I only use Excel to always input data. So just like virtually anybody, I thought I could use Excel, like just to input data and store data in maybe numeric form. But later when I took the class, I found out that you can even use Excel to draw charts. You can use Excel to find data. You can use Excel to analyze data. You can use Excel to do so many things, as well as Power BI, as well as even SQL. Because I'm also in the SQL class, so you the limit is there's no limit to what you gain from the classes. They are amazing classes,
The limit
and
is
you get
limitless, right?
it's limitless. Exactly, it's
The
limitless.
limit is limitless.
Massive,
Okay.
massive knowledge. I swear. So
Uh,
it's
yeah.
very impactful. Very impactful. I
All
would I
right.
would like
Thank
us
you,
to hang on
Mr.
to the end of the class, so we can see
What did you
how.
say?
I said I'd like everybody to hang on to the end of this class, so you can at least get the taste of what is to come.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay. So, Mr.
So, okay, so where I stopped, I said now we have to connect our data set to our Power BI desktop. I said for you to connect your data set to your Power BI desktop, you click on Get Data. So for this class, we are going to use the file I sent to you and also one other Excel file. So, okay, starting with, we're going to start with the file I sent to you. And if you look at the format of that file, it is an Excel file. So that is why we are going to click on Excel in this case. Wow. I'm back home. See, at this point, I don't know. But let's just continue with what we are doing. I hope you can all hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you,
Yes.
please.
But
Yes, so
Yes,
I
please,
think
we can
everything
hear.
should be good from here. I think everything should be okay from here.
Yeah, you can continue, Mr. Sarami.
Yeah,
And please,
definitely.
please, let's watch the time.
Yeah, I'll be fast with what
We
I'm doing
just have
actually.
about 45 minutes thereabout.
So now let's connect our Power BI desktop to. Then before moving on, how many people are still following? Let me just see, because I know Let me just submit to
Yeah,
Class
yeah,
for
I'm
link.
here. I'm following.
Okay, good.
I'm following.
So now we
I'm
have
following
we
you.
have to connect our Power BI desktop to our Excel file, the one we sent to the group. So when you click on Excel here, it will take you to your directory, and in this case, you have to locate that particular file. So my own file is in the desktop, and I have it down here. It is Data Analysis Masterclass 17th. So I'm going to click on Open, which I have done. So this is the time Power BI is going to connect. You can see connecting. It's going to connect the Power BI to the data. So now it is going to display a screen for us to select the particular sheet we want to use. Mine is still loading over here. Now, like I said earlier, Power BI can be slow sometimes. So, okay. So mine is still loading, just I think a minute. Okay. So we have this navigator screen. So in our navigator screen, we the function of this is to select the particular sheet we are using in the Microsoft Excel. So in the Microsoft Excel now, we have two different. We have a sheet, then we have a table. The first one you can see with the icon that has blue color as the header is the table. While the second sheet we have here is the sheet, the Excel sheet in the file. So now we are going to use this Excel sheet. You're going to click on this orders. So in Power BI, you have three options when you want to connect your data source. When you want to connect your Power BI to your data source, the first option we have, as you can see here, is the load option. So this load option will allow you to load your data to your Power BI desktop automatically. It will load it to this interface you can see at the back here. Then also the second option that we have is the transform data. The transform data will take your data set to the Power BI query. And the function of a Power BI query is to clean your data set. So in case your data set is not clean and you click on load, it will just help you to load it straight away to the Power BI desktop without cleaning, without doing anything to it. It will just load it like that. But when you click on transform, it will take you to where you are going to clean your data to make it proper for analysis. Then we have the third option, which is cancel. So in case you want to cancel, in case you don't want to load the data, you can click on cancel. So in this case, we want to see if our data set is clean. So we're going to click on transform data. So now it is going to load a new interface in this case. Or let me just say it is going to load another application. Though it is connected to Power BI, but it's another interface, another application. So now this is where we have our data. This is what we have in our data. If you open your Microsoft Excel, the Excel sheet we seen, you will see that this is how we have it in the Excel sheet. So when you look at this, you can, for the first thing, so am I still presenting?
Please sharing his or her screen, please. Stop sharing your screen. Dr. Alex is.
Don't worry, I will just resume my own here.
Okay.
Okay, so we can see that the way the data set is presented in our Microsoft Excel is the same way we have it here. So the first thing we should note is just we're just going to do a simple cleaning, a simple one because of time. So we can see that this is the column header, and we can see that what we have here is shipping data. So when you open your Excel sheet, you see that the first column on your Excel sheet is shipping data, followed by that's like the name of the Excel sheet. So then here we can see that we have column 2, column 3, column 4, and the rest. Column 3, column 2, and column 4, those are not the name of the, those are not the column header. But when you look at this data properly, you can see the order number here. When you look at the row 2, you can see the order date, you can see customer name, you can see address. Then you can also scroll. You can move to the right and see other columns that we have. So in this case, the real column header is in row 2. That means we have to make this row 2 the column header. So it is simple. It's also part of data cleaning. What we just have to do is to go to the home tab. Then under the transform here, we are going to see use first row as header. So this is what we are going to use to move this row 2 to the header. So when you click on it the first time, let's see, you are going to see that the row 2 has now moved to row 1. So that means we can still perform this same function to move the row 1 to the header. So now you have to click on use first row as header again. So when you use first row as header, you are going to see that now we have our row, we have our column header in a proper place now. You can see the order number, the order date, the customer name, and orders where they are supposed to be. Then again, part of the data cleaning process, though I'm going to state that we are not really into the data cleaning process with this, because there are some data sets we are going to meet with that will be very, very dirty. You have to use a lot of function. And don't worry, at Data Line, we are going to teach you all this. This is just a free masterclass to introduce you today to this field. So we already have a video that is going to take you to each functions, like everything you can see here in the home tab, to the transform tab, to the column tab. We have a video that explains it practically, like how you are going to do it, how each function works. So then moving back to our data set now, we can see that this order number now, we can look at this icon that we have here. This is the data type. This icon that we can see here, we can see it's in form of a calendar. Then we can also see for the date, order date, it is also in form of a calendar. We can see for the customer name, it is in form of ABC, which is text in this case. Then also when we move to the other side, we can also see 1.2, which means that this column is in form of decimal. Then we can see 1, 2, 3, which signifies that this column is in whole number. So we have different data type. If you want to see it, you can just click on this icon, and you're going to see the different type of column of data type we have. So for the order number, Power BI has identified the order number as a date, which is not supposed to be so. The order number should just be, and you can, if you even look at the dates, you can see the first one that we have here. We have 0101 5071, and you know that we are still in 2021. So definitely, as a data analyst, you should be able to know that this is not correct, because you can't have a date that is 5071 when we are still in 2021. When we are still in 2021. Okay. So that means the data type in this column is not correct. So we have to make sure that it is correct so we can use it for our analysis. So how do we correct this? It is just simple. Just click on the icon here. Then we can change this to test. So when you change to test, you are going to see it says change column type. To just confirm, click on replace current. So you can see what we have here now. When you look at your Excel sheet, you will notice that this is what you have in your Excel sheet under your order number, and this is what we are having now. So the date data type that we had earlier was actually wrong. So I think that should be the cleaning we have to do in this aspect. Because of time, because the data set is already clean. We did that before sending it to you. So now, when you are done with your cleaning and you want to start your analysis in proper, what you just have to do is to click on close and apply. So when you click on close and apply here, it will now take you back to Microsoft Power BI desktop. So are we still following? Do we get that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to some I got to some extent. I missed it.
Yeah. Okay. Are you practicing?
Yes, I was trying to do so until I couldn't load the data again.
Just wait
Okay.
until we finish the class. You would get the recording. Just follow the class so that you don't miss any part. And if you have a question, so you can answer. To take everybody, we would not end the class
because of time.
Okay. All right.
Exactly.
So this is what we
enjoy the
have
class.
now. When you look at your right hand, when you look at the right screen here, you can see that we have orders here. So this is the table that we want to work with. This is the table that we want to analyze. And also, when you move to your data view, like I said, if you remember, I said it will present your data in a spreadsheet format. So this is how you are going to have your data in the data view. You can see it here. So in case you want to create a new column or you want to do anything, you can do it here. You can see new measure, quick measure, new column, new table. All this we are going to explain to you, but not in this class because this is just an introductory class. So then if you move to your model view, you're also going to see this table. So now let's assume that we have the employees table, like I said earlier. You have it here and you want to connect both together. This is where you do it. So you just have to drag and drop and you connect the two of them together. So you can see the practical application of Power BI desktop now. So now let's start with our analysis. So the first thing we want to see in this data set is to see the number of orders that the company received throughout the year, throughout its lifetime. Let me just put it like that. Throughout its lifetime, we want to see, because when we see, okay, let's move to the data view now. And let's look at the years that we have. So when you click on this order date, let's click on it. I want to show you the years that we have. You can see it started from 2013, then down to 2017. So now, in this case, we now want to see the total number of orders that the company received all through those years. So that's what we want to see. And to do that, we are going to use your card visual. This is where you have your visuals. In case you want to use a pie chart, a column chart, a bar chart, a map, any kind of visual you want to use, this is where you access it. And also, you can also access more visual when you click on this get more visual. So the Power BI has a marketplace in which there are varieties of visuals also. But these are the let me say the app visual. So anybody using Power BI will get to see this. So now, if you want to see the total number of orders, we are going to use a card visual. And why we are choosing a card is when you click on this icon, it is a card visual. Why we are using a card visual is because we only want to see a single value. So if you want to see a single value, the best visual to use is your card visual, because there are so many visuals that you can use. You can even use okay, let me even show this. You can use this, but for your user to understand what you're actually trying to tell them, you have to use the appropriate visual to tell them that. So let me, using the Coulomb chart now, I'm going to, okay, so now we are going to drag this order number. We are going to use the order number to know the numbers of orders that the company received throughout the years. So now what you just need to do is to drag this order number to the value section here. If you can see this, you drag the order number here down to the value section here. So then when you drag it here, see, are we staying in class? Are we staying in class?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Of course,
Okay.
We are lost here.
You are lost. How?
Drag the order number to where? Which of the column? Is it under the visuals?
So can we all hear me?
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
back.
please.
I'm back. Sorry.
Yes, now we can hear you,
Oh,
sir.
so-
We can hear
so-
you, sir. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, now,
Yeah.
so,
Wait.
Okay, so I was asking a question. Can you hear me?
so now back to what we are doing.
Can you hear me?
Hello? Okay, good. So now you can see that we have the, hold on, this thing is echoing. What's happening? Sorry, can we please switch over? Can we please mute our mics, please? Because I can hear I can hear echoes here. So now, back to our analysis now. You can see that when I use the Coulomb charts, with this, you can see, you can look at the grid line. It is pointing towards 1,000, but you can't actually know the exact number of orders because of the visual we are using in this case. So that is why it is very important to use the appropriate visual to achieve the objective you want to achieve. Very, very important. So, like I said
Mr.
earlier,
Sarumi,
yeah.
please, you have about 27 minutes. So please. Yeah.
Okay, let me very fast. So now, I said like I said earlier that we have to use our card visual. So now we are going to change this to our card visual and see what we have. So when we click on card, it will change automatically. So now we can see that the total number of the count of order number now is 1,039. So with the visual that we used earlier, we cannot exactly determine the number, but with this visual, it is very easy to know the number of orders. So in case you don't want your user to see count of order number, you can actually click on this to edit it. Let's just say number of orders. Number of orders. So when you click on it, it's going to change. So in case you don't like the title of the name, you can change it to that. So the second thing we want to see is we want to see the number of customers that we have. So now we've seen that, okay. So now we've seen that we have 1,039 orders. But again, we want to see the numbers of customers that we have in our company so that we can make decisions as to how to improve our organization. So the best thing to do in this case, we can also pick a new card. Since you want to display just a single value, you can pick a new card to show that. But in this case, just to be very fast, I can duplicate this just to work very fast. I can duplicate this and just change it from this order number. So I'm going to click on this. Then I'm going to drag sorry, I'm still going to use, okay, let me just use the customer name in this case now. Let me drag the customer name to this. So when you drag a text value or a categorical value, it is going to give you what it is going to give you is the first customer name, and we can see in on something here. Because it is not now changed it, what you have to do is to click on this drop down here. Just look at it well. Click on the drop down here and look at count. But in this case, we want to count distinct, because we want to count distinct number of customers. If we are to pick count, we are still going to get the same number of orders, because that's the count of customers. It is counting the row. It is counting the row in this case. But when we click on count distinct, it is going to count distinct customers. So it is not like if I order twice now, it is going to count my name as just one. If we're using count distinct. So if I order like 5 times, it is going to count it as just once. So, and this is necessary because we want to know the number of customers. So it is not because I order 5 times, that does not mean I'm 5 customers. I'm just a customer. So that is the usefulness of this count distinct. So when you click on count distinct, it is going to give you the number of customers that you have. So like I said earlier, you can edit this. You can say number of customers.
Necessarily,
yeah.
Just to follow the time, like to make sure that we beat the time. Can you just please give summary of what each of the visuals can do? Then the anomalies to you actually explain and dwell on that more, because that's the topic for the class. Then you can now move to what you have for us because of the time majorly, because the way this thing
I understand.
Going. You understand? All right.
And I understand, just like a little introduction so they can fully understand, because if I'm to jump to Anomaly, it might just feel like we are performing miracle here. Sure, you get for the enthusiasts, for people that are new to this field and that are new to this app, so they can just see the basic things we can do. So very
and also,
fast.
If you have a dashboard that you've built already, because I'm sure you have a lot of them, you can just show an example.
Sorry, a minute. Just give me a minute.
Okay. So I hope we all are enjoying the class actually.
Yes, yes.
They're enjoying the class.
Okay. Awesome. So we are trying as much as possible to actually work with the time, because we have to be strict with that. So that's why we're actually recording the class.
Okay,
so that we can have
the
recorded version of the class. So let's continue. Anyways, Mr. Sarmi. Mr. Sarmi, I was saying that if you have the dashboard, I can show us, like a final result of these steps that you're actually taking, so that, because I know that you may not actually be able to cover everything, so if you have a dashboard, you can show us a final result, and then, just along the way. All right, so.
Okay, just that the thing is, I don't have a dashboard for this particular data set.
It does not mean.
And then, okay. So, okay.
Continue.
Okay, let me just do 1 or 2 visuals so we can move to the anomaly then. So now, as a data analyst, you might want to see the trend of sales. I want to see the trend of sales for the company. And to do this, if you want to look at the trend of anything as a data analyst, most times what you're going to use is the line charts. So if you want to look at the trend of sales per year, that is the total value of sales for the company per year, you are going to use our line charts. So the first thing, you call your line chart here, click on your line chart. So we have, you can actually expand it like this. You can expand your line chart so you can see what we're dealing with. And then the first thing you have to do is to drag a date that is going to show us the trend. So in this case, we are going to use the order dates. So now you move your order dates to your axis. This is the order dates. And now you want to see the trend of what? You want to see the trend of total sales. So now in this case, we have the net sales here. So we can just drag the net sales to our values. So when you drag the net sales to your values, automatically it will create something like this. So you can see this is a yearly distribution of sales. Also, if you want to see, if you want to drill down to see for quarterly, you can also click on this, and now you can see each year by quarter. So the first one that we have here is quarter one, followed by quarter two, followed by quarter three. This is for 2013, then quarter four, like that. So you can see for each quarter. Then also, if you want to drill down, you can see for months. So let's say this is the distribution of sales by months for each year. Distribution of sales by months for each year. So that's how to look at the trend of sales in Power BI. Then also you can also say you want to, let me just create this last visual so we can move to the anomalies. So now you can say you want to look at the top customers. You can say you want to look at the top customers that is patronizing your company. To do that, we can use the Coulomb charts. You can say you want to look at the top 5 customers in this case. You want to look at the top 5 customers. So when you click on your start column chart, you are going to drag your customer name to your axis. You can see your customer name here. So when you drag it to your axis, then now you want to see it by sales, right? So you drag your net sales to your values. So it is going to display the total sales for each customer. But don't forget, we only want to see the top 5 customers. So Power BI can easily show you the top 5 customers. It's not just for you to be counting one by one. Okay, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. No, you don't have to do that. With the filter pane, it can limit what you see here to just the top 5. So now this is the filter pane. You can see filter here. So when you open this, when you click on this, you can actually limit it. So what do we want to limit in this case? We want to limit the customer name to just top 5. So that means you have to click on this expand or collapse filter card. So when you click on this, you will see basic filtering. In this case, that means you want to select what you want to see for yourself. In case I want to see a particular customer, you can select it. But we don't want to do that. We want to get the top 5. So what you are going to use is the top N in this case. So when you click on the top N, it says you can either see the top N or the bottom N. If you want to see the bottom 5, you can also see it. If you want to see the bottom 10, you can also see it with this function. But in this case, we want to see the top 5. So in this box here, we are going to type the 5. So then we want to now limit this visual by what? Is it by the number of orders or by the sum of sales? But like we said earlier, we want to limit it by the sum of sales, which is net sales. So what you are going to do is to drag your net sales to this by value. So when you drag it here, they are now going to click on apply filter. So let's see what we are going to get now. So you can see, so Power BI is just automatically going to limit what you see here to the top 5 customers. And lastly, for the all what we have been doing since morning is just a descriptive analysis. How you can do descriptive analysis. We've not done any diagnostic or predictive. So lastly, before moving to anomaly,
Mr. Remy, you have 15 minutes. So please just
yeah, I think I'll cover up. Don't worry.
All right.
The anomaly shouldn't take time like that. So lastly, let's say you want to create a report for different manager, because you have different manager in different country. So you want to create a visual for each one of them. With Power BI, you don't have to start creating one by one. If you know your Excel well, you should know how to use a slicer. So in this case, we can also use your slicer. So instead of you creating a report for maybe the UK manager and also creating for USA manager, you don't have to do that. With slicer, you can just slice your data for each country. So now to do that, you are going to call is visual here, which is called the slicer. So when you click on the slicer, it will pop up on the screen, which is this. And what we want to do is to look at the visuals here by countries. So now we have to drag the country to the field. So when you drag the country to the field, you can see what we have here. You can see that we have Australia, we have Canada, we have Germany. So let's say in case you want to see the number of orders, number of customers, the trend, and the customer name for Canada, what you just have to do is to click on Canada here, and it is going to change based on your clicks. So if you want to see for Germany, it is going to change. If you want to see for UK, it is going to change. And any country you want to see for. So this is just a descriptive analysis, and this is like the simplest we can do on Power BI. So now we are going to move to our power anomaly, which is the main topic for today. So what I've been doing is just to introduce you to the Power BI desktop. So for the anomaly visual, or okay, let me start from the topic: sensitivity and analysis with anomaly. So what we want to do is to look at the trend of sales for each day. Let's say we want to look at the trend of sales for each day and want to see if there is any anomaly in the trend. Let's say in the past 7 days for a company, within they've been making within the range of 200,000 to 300,000, within that range. If they are to predict for the next day, they'll predict that it will still be within that range. But let's now say the next day they made 1 million naira. That's like something very like how we've been making 200,000 to 300,000 for the past 7 days, or even for the past month. But just today we made 1 million naira. That's like an anomaly. It is not usual. So with Power BI, we can, let's say, with Power BI, you can identify the anomaly. You can identify the factors that cause the anomaly. So that is what we want to do in this case. So to do that now, we are going to use the anomaly visual. So then the anomaly visual, before I move forward, is a preview feature actually. So let me know how many people are following before we see this. How many people are practicing? Let me just say. How many people are practicing? Okay, I think okay. So now
Three people written.
We are practicing.
Okay. So for you to access the anomaly detection visual, you have to go to your file. You go to your file here. Then you go to options and settings under your file. Then you move to option. This is you move to option. So now under your option, you are going to move to preview feature. It is not available to all. It's still under preview, so it is not available to all. That is why we have to move to this place. Then under this space, you can see anomaly detection. So you have to activate this anomaly detection. So when you are done doing that, you click on OK. So I don't know, I think it is going to tell you to close the windows and then open Power BI back. I think yeah. So that's what you have to do to access your anomaly. So now for this, I'm going to use another data set so we can understand this properly. Let me just use another data set. So I don't think you have the data set with you. So just I think for this, I think the best thing to do is just to watch so we won't make a mistake in this aspect. So what we are going to use
So
is
what did you say
this.
we are going to? What did you say we are going to click when you go to option?
You go to your preview features. Go to your preview features. So now I opened another data set, which I'm going to use for the preview. And in this case, I'm going to click on AI visual data. That is the data set I'm going to work with now. So I can transform it to see if my data set is clean. So I'll be very fast with this because I think this data set is okay already. So now, yeah, this data set is okay already. So we can load it directly to our Power BI. So let's just click on close and apply. If you click on close and apply, it will load to your Power BI desktop. So mine is still loading now.
Okay, so while it's loading,
No, okay.
okay, okay, just continue. I wanted to ask a question so that I could expatiate on that, but then
Yeah,
just
you
continue.
can.
I would ask once you are done with this part.
Okay, now. Okay. So no problem. So now to use our anomaly, we have rules if you want to use anomaly detection visual. The first rule is that you can only use your anomaly detection visual with a line chart. It only works with a line chart. So you cannot just decide that you want to use it with a column chart or a pie chart. It won't work. The only visual you can use your anomaly detection with is your line chart. Then also the dates you are going to be using, it's just like us creating a trend to see if there's any anomaly within that trend. So the dates you are going to be using for your anomaly detection must not have any gap. So by that, the meaning is that it must have the month complete from January to December for each year, and that is where I've determined to use these data sets. Because if I'm to use this first data set, that means I will have to create a new table. So, and that is going to take our time. But don't worry, when you subscribe to the paid program, we're going to take you through all this. So, the AI visual in this case, like I said, there must not be any gap in your dates. So that means the month must be complete. The month for 2013 must have a data. The months for 2014 must have data. Like everything must be complete. That's just the meaning. So now we are using a similar data. It's actually a similar data, but without any gap in the dates. So like we did earlier, I said the only way you can use your anomaly detection is to use a line chart. So when you click on your line chart, let me expand this so we can see what we are working with. Let me expand this properly. So now you are going to drag your date to it. So you are going to drag your date to it. So when you have your date in this case, then also let's say you want to see the anomaly in revenue. So you're going to drag your revenue to your values. So this is what we are going to have, but we are not going to use this visual, but because this is giving us per year. This is giving us per year. But what we want to see is a daily sales. We want to see a daily sales and not yearly sales. So to convert this from yearly to daily, you can just click on the drop down you have here. You can click on the drop down here, and instead of using date hierarchy that we have here, you can use your dates. So when you use your dates, it is going to, yeah, so you can see what we have here. So this is the sales per day for the company. Like you can see here, Tuesday 12 July 2011. Let's see another one, Saturday 29 March 2014. So you can see this is the daily sales for the company. So if you want to determine if there is any anomaly in the sales data, then you have to go to this tab here. We have the Analytics tab in Power BI. So this Analytics tab, you click on it. This is where you can carry out more analysis. If you want to see the trend line, constant line, this is where you also forecast. So, but in this case, you want to find anomalies. So you click on find anomalies. So then you scroll down. Let's see what we have. So to find anomalies, you are going to click on add. You are going to click on add. So let's see what we are going to get. The sensitivity in this case is 70%. So it's just like we're saying, we want this chart to be 70% sensitive to changes. That's the meaning. You can also increase it to 100% if you want, and click on apply. You see, we're having more data points in this case, but now we are going to leave it at 70%. Let's leave it at 70% and then click on apply. So these points that we are seeing are the points of anomalies. So when you look at this, just look at the tooltip, the black shape that we can see here. You can see that the revenue is 59,612, but the expected revenue is supposed to be 51,779. So that is Power BI doing its work to determine the expected revenue. Then also, we can also see that the expected minimum revenue, so it now created a range now, saying that, okay, the minimum revenue we are supposed to make for this particular day should be 45,295. And the maximum revenue we are supposed to make should be 58,253. But now the revenue for that particular day is now 59,612, which is higher than the expected revenue and the maximum revenue. And that is why Power BI has tagged this as anomaly, because it is higher than the range that Power BI specified for it. So now you can also look at others to look at the expected, the actual, and what and everything that you have in there. So now, so like we can see here, Power BI is telling us that this revenue for that particular day is too high compared to what it is supposed to be. So we cannot tell Power BI that, okay, since you said this is too high, so can you tell us why we are having a high value compared to what we are supposed to have? So Power BI can help you to answer this. And this is part of diagnostic analysis. It's like you going deep, you wanting to know why this is happening. So for you to do that, you can see the explain by. You can see the explain by field here. So you can say, okay, help me explain this by country. So, but for you, so you can click on apply. So for you to see, for you to explain by country, you have to click on the anomaly. So you have to click on this. So when you click on this, it is going to display a result. But sometimes, like we have here, it might not be every time it will display a result. It can just say, okay, there's no explanation for this. It is just I, like everything, the product, the country, everything contributed to it being I. It is not like there is a particular country that contributed a high amount of revenue for that particular day. That is why we can see that we couldn't find any significant explanation for this anomaly. Then it now says, try adding a new field to the explain by section of the analytics pane. So now you cannot go back to the anomaly, and say, okay, I don't want to put anything here. So now you want to give a new task to Power BI. I want to say, Power BI, just explain, looking through all the data set I have here, all the columns I have here, just look at it and explain the possible cause or the possible explanation of this increase. That's that's the meaning of you not adding anything here. And now you can see that this possible explanation has changed. it says that the state is Sing. So when you click on this drop down, let's click on this drop down. Let's see what we have here. Now it is telling us that revenue, I'm coming, let me scroll down. It is telling us that revenue for states Sing was unusually high, which may have lifted the revenue total. And the strength of this explanation is 42%. So that means you can have 42%. That means you can rely on this explanation in 42%, or how am I going to say it? Then also we have another
with 42%
explanation.
assurance.
Yeah, thank you for that. With 42% assurance. Then also we have another explanation here, which says that the product is rolled. This is the product. This is part of the product that caused increase in that revenue, and we can rely on this with 8% assurance. So what it is saying here, that the sales for this product was unusually high compared to the sales we are supposed to make. So you can see that with just clicking buttons, we can actually perform business intelligence analysis for companies. So because normally it will be hard for them to say, okay, what is happening? Where do we have high sales? But with this, we can actually get to know where the high sales is coming from. Then we can also look at another. We can also look at another anomaly to see if we have anything. This is not explaining anything. Let's see another one. Okay, there's nothing here. So like you can see that sometimes you get to see nothing. You get to see nothing, but most times if your data set is okay, you get to see possible explanation for it. So also we can see that we have a possible explanation for this, and it is saying that the subcategory is cleaners. So that means the cleaners subcategory contributed a very high portion of the revenue, or the subcategory revenue cleaners is unusually high compared to what we are supposed to have. So then also we can see that the state is buoyant also. So with anomaly, you can get to know where the increase is coming from, what is actually affecting your company's sales, or even if it's cost, what is affecting your company's cost to increase. You can get to know it with this anomaly visual. So that's just one part of diagnostic analysis with Power BI. So let me get a response from the class. Do we understand this perfectly well?
Okay, the question is, do we understand, not can we do it now? Because we know that this is some of us, this is our first time of even using Power BI. So can we do it now is different from do we understand, please, so that we'll clear the difference. All right.
Yeah.
Then you can send your questions too.
Hello.
Okay. Right,
Yeah.
Thank you for the training. It's quite very impactful. What I want to ask is that when you are trying to get into that anomaly, I asked that question, but I didn't get the response. From the option, you said go to file, option and setting, then from options. So what are we going to click? Because I didn't get that part. So go to that.
Yeah, I said you click on preview futures. Let me see if I can quickly go to that.
Please stop sharing your screen, Dr. Alexis.
Okay, is it sharing?
Someone's screen is sharing and it's not supposed to be sharing.
No worry, I'll resume here.
All right. All right.
Hey, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Can see it.
So this is the option page, right? So then you click on preview features. Preview features. Then under the preview features, you see anomaly detection.
Okay.
You can see that, right?
Okay.
So,
Yes.
so when you activate that, it will tell you to quit the app and open it again. So for you to have it on the application.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Before we go
Okay.
ahead with the question, uh, before we go ahead with the question, Mr. Sarami, can you tell us what you have for people who want to learn this more, in a broader sense and get more familiar with the use of these tools so that we'll answer all the questions together.
Okay, yeah, sure. I can let me quickly go through that. So
Okay.
data analysis. So let me just start. Let me start with this story. Let me just start a personal story of mine. So when I graduated, I'll be very fast with this. When I graduated, I graduated December. Then I started applying, normal. Nobody wants to be unemployed now. So I started
December.
applying.
Sorry, which December?
Yeah, I'm
Because you said
2019.
December like last year.
No, no, not 2019 actually. December 2019. So I started applying on LinkedIn and every other platform in which I can. So there was this day I got an invite from P&G, P&G. So I got an invite in late February, and when I got the invite for an interview, I was supposed to attend the interview the second day, and unfortunately, I was in Akure, while the invite is going to be in Lagos, Ikeja here. So that means, and I got the invite around 12 o'clock. So that means I have to get to Lagos that same day. You can imagine. So normal as someone hustling for job now, I have to just get prepared, pick one or two clothes, and rush to Lagos. So when I got to the company to P&G, I met with the HR that invited me. The HR was even like he was boosting my morale that how far just answer the question well, don't worry. And I forgot to mention the position I was supposed to fill was supposed to be an urgent position because they called me late February and they said if I pass the interview, I'm supposed to resume on the 3rd of March. So you get it's something urgent. So the HR was just like, just make sure you answer the questions well and just make sure everything is okay. Don't worry, I got your back and everything. So then I met with the person that is going to interview me, not the HR in this case, is one of the top finance person in P&G. So he was cheerful, so he played with me. It was so like this thing makes sense, kind of interview. So then we started the interview. But before we started the interview, I told him that okay, I'm here to go for service. So I don't know how can we do that. I'm supposed to go for service soon. So and he mentioned something. He mentioned something. He said, "Don't worry. If I can identify a talent in you, or if I can see a skill in you that is needed, don't worry. I'll make sure I do anything to make sure you serve here and also retain you after your service." That was the answer he gave to my response. So I was like, okay, no problem. Then I was rest assured. So I did the interview. Normal. But the thing is, when I went for the interview, just a fresh graduate, I had no other thing to offer but just my BSc certificates, my 4 year certificates, my microeconomics, macroeconomics, econometrics, and co. So that's the only thing I had to offer in that interview. So no, I don't have any skill, like any digital skill they need. Let me just say it. Or I don't have any digital skill at that point. So when I did the interview, it was like, at least let me just answer. I did the interview to the best of my knowledge. So then after that, I went back home. I was expecting letters per I try my best now. She get so I was expecting letter. I was supposed to resume on the 3rd of March, but unfortunately I did not get any letter. So, but then my mind went back to the question I asked and the answer I gave. He said, if I can identify a talent in you, and if you have the skills, not like the skills, if you have skills that we need, we are going to, I'm going to make sure I do anything in my capacity to retain you. So indirectly, me not getting a letter actually means that I do not have any skill. That's just the meaning, even without them telling me. So that's actually made me not to get the interview letter, because I don't have any skill to present except my BSc certificate. I know how big P&G is, a multinational company for that matter. So that's how I lost that position or that job, let me say. So it was very painful, but then I had to think about the whole thing. Like, okay, what was the cause? The main cause of this is because I do not have any skill to present. I only had my BSc, and it's not like my grade was bad. My grade was actually good. So, but because of that important thing, that skill, I wasn't employed for that position. So it was very, very heartbreaking. So, and that was the motivation that pushed me into learning data analytics, because I had to be like, okay, I don't have any skill, but I know I have to get one. So which skill is actually in demand right now? And that's why I had to go into data analysis and start learning. And that's why I am here, where I am, and also with God's grace also. So then that is part of the reason why we and my colleagues and my team feel like we need to start a program like this. Because let me tell you a thing. Let's say there is an invite for graduate training. You know, graduate training is for new graduates in the labor force. Let's say there's an invite for graduate training and you apply for that invite. Trust me, if you are someone without a skill and they can identify someone with a skill, even though they said it is for new graduates, they will pick someone with a skill first, leaving you behind. And why is this? Because they feel if they can just brush up that person with a skill, it is going to fit perfectly into their agenda. But you being without a skill, that means they will have to teach you first. After they teach you, they will now see if you can actually work. But when they identify someone with a skill, it's like, oh, this one has this skill already. Then that means let's just teach him how to apply to. Let's just teach him how to apply to our business, on how to solve our business solution. So, and that's part of the reason why we have to start a program like this, because there are many graduates out there that does not have any digital skill. Let me just say digital skill in this case, because so many of us have these their skills, probably tailoring and others, you get. But in this era that we are, you need a digital skill. You need the digital skill to excel. Though definitely with tailoring and co, you can excel, but the competition is now becoming too much in that aspect, and you have to even learn for you to excel in that aspect. But for digital skill, it is something that even without it is not based on what you study. It is not based on what you study, and that is why we decided that okay, let's start up a program that we can teach, we can build, we can mentor individuals, young individuals, graduates, and even undergraduates in this data analysis field. And that is why we've decided to come up with a program like this. So since we started, we've organized paid classes and also free classes for every 3 months, like my colleague said earlier. So then also we've taught people in several countries, not only in Nigeria, through our paid and free programs. And some of the people that attended our paid program are doing amazingly well. I think Mr. Damnola presented earlier. He's still an undergraduate. He's almost done, but I'm sure when he's done, getting a job won't be something hard for him. I'm very sure about that. So then,
Okay. Just
for
please.
this program,
What's the time? The time, please.
yeah,
Just
okay, I'll be very fast. Don't worry. So for this program, we've decided to lower our price because we know why we decided to lower our price compared to others is because we know the people that actually need the skills are basically they want to learn these skills so they can get a job, so as to probably start up a career or to change their career. So majorly why they are learning is to get a job, and we know the current situation of everything. So we decided to bring this program to give it out to everyone that is interested at a lower price, because like the story I said earlier, what I encountered, I most likely don't want, I definitely don't want anybody to go through that, to lose a big opportunity due to the fact that they don't have any skill. So this program has been set up to build you in data analysis field. And also in this program you get to have access to our mentorship program, because it won't just be learning when you are done learning, so just go and do your own thing, go and improve on your own thing. It won't be like that. What we want to do is to teach you the process of data analysis. Okay, I'm coming. Teach you the process of data analysis. And when you're done with the process of data analysis, and when you're done with the process, we also want to mentor you, because we know it's not something easy. We also want to give you projects monthly so you can develop yourself in this field. And that is why we've, with our data line, started a mentorship hub. So after this program, you're going to have a 2 months access to our mentorship program.
Mr. Sarmi, can you share your slide if you have a slide for that?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do now.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to do now. So so now I'm going to share what you are going to learn in this paid program, because after this free program, we are starting a paid program in May, and that will be our third cohort and also our second cohort for the year, because our plan is to bring up a program for each quarter of the year. So for the second quarter, our program is going to start by May. So let me present some of the things we are going to learn in this program. So starting with okay,
You can't see your screen.
So yeah, I'm trying to load the stuff so I can share it. I'm trying to load it so I can share. So in this paid program, we are going to focus on 3 different analytical tool. And the number one tool we are going to focus on is Excel. And why we have to focus on Excel is because, like Ayomide said, Excel is very important as a data analyst. It is very important for you to learn Excel, because there are sometimes you might not want to start with Power BI. You might not want to start your cleaning your transforming with Power BI. You might just want to use. Can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so we are going to start with Excel, like I said. And in Excel, we are going to teach data analysis application to solve problem using these functions and formulas and in Excel. Like I said earlier, it's not just for you to know about Excel. It's not just for you to know how to use Excel. You have to know the application of Excel to solve problem. You have to know the application of basic Excel functions to solve business problem. It is important. It's not just about you knowing how to use basic Excel function. You have to know the test and date function. So all this we are going to, all this and more, let me just say all this and more is what we are going to teach you in the paid program. Then also we have the Power BI. In the Power BI, this is our schedule. We are going to introduce you to the Power BI, Microsoft Power BI. We are also going to take you to the Power BI, Power Query Editor, the functions, each functions in Power Query Editor. Then also the big parts, or let me say the important part, data cleaning. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but it has been said that 80%, or I think 70% now, 70% of a data analyst work is going to be data cleaning, because that's where you have to major on. See, if you don't know how to clean a data, it might even get you in trouble. Let me just say it like that. Because when you don't clean your data properly, it might cost the company. Because let's say you don't clean, your data is not clean, and instead of you saying the company has a revenue of $300 million, you said the company has a revenue of $500 million, and now they have to pay royalty or they have to pay dividend. So they are paying more than they are supposed to. So when they get to know that the revenue that you said that you give to them is actually wrong, you actually cost the company already. So it can get you to lose your job. Let me just put it like that. That's how data cleaning is important. That's how important data cleaning is. Then we have data modeling, we have DAX, then we have the complete analysis steps. We're going to take you through all this: the descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and the prescriptive. We're going to take you through all this. Then also generating key insights in Excel. Sorry, in Power BI, we are going to show you how you
Look at
can
your time,
generate
please.
key insights. Yeah. Then also we are going to show you how to create dashboard with Power BI. Then we have the courses we are going to take in SQL. So the first we have the introduction, the fundamentals, the syntax of SQL, how you can use SQL for aggregation, the case function in SQL, and others. All this and more we are going to take you through in the paid program. And the advantage of the paid program, the first one, it will be a structured learning. So the program is going to be taken by industry experts who have the knowledge of who have the knowledge of the application of data analysis in the industry. So it will be a structured program on how you have to take it. Then also you have one-on-one discussion with industry experts in this program. Then you have access to a learning hub, like I mentioned earlier. So when you are done with your learning, you can switch to learning hub. Here we give out data sets you can work on, projects you can work on, and also live classes. Even after the program, we are still going to train you after the program. Then also when you are done with your program, we are going to issue you a certificate. And the certificate is going to be a verified one in which you can verify online. So then the pricing and the discount. So now is where we talk about the price. It's not something expensive. Like I said earlier, it is going to be, we are going to give it out at a low cost because we know the situation and we know our objective is to impact individuals. So for Microsoft Excel and Power BI, the combination of Microsoft Excel and Power BI program is going to be just 12,000. You can see how low this price is, just 12,000. For you to learn Excel, the advanced Excel, and also everything about Power BI, just 12,000. You can see how small this is. Though I know this is relative, but I know the price is, when I say how small it is, I know it is relative. Some people might feel like, if you know what I will do to get at 12,000. But look at the economy now. Look at what you can use 12,000 to get, and look at what you can use 12,000 to get when you learn this program, when you enroll for this program. You get to decide your future when you learn this program. Like you get to get jobs with just getting to learn about Excel and Power BI and SQL with just 12,000. Then also we have SQL separately. SQL is 10,000 separately. 10,500 separately, because SQL is It's not a complex application, a complex language. It's just a very important language. According to research by Glassdoor, it has been said that the second most important skill for a data analyst is SQL. So, and we are going to be giving it out for 10,000 naira. So, if you look at the worth of this course, the worth of this course won't be less than 50,000. Trust me. I know what I'm talking about, and I know I've gone through several learning platforms where you have to pay dollars and you have to even pay, and your learning is even restricted to certain months because you can't you can't pay that certain amount and have access to it forever. But with this program, we're going to be giving out recorded videos for the live class. So after the class, you can actually have access to the recorded video, so you can also check on what you learn in class. Then a total, in case you want to take Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Power BI, and SQL, in case you want to take everything together, we offer this at a discount price of 20,000 naira. I know this is low, and but the objective is just to help individuals to get this knowledge so they can actually navigate this path. So I think that's all for the pricing. So you can see that the price that we are offering, that we are giving out this program is such a low amount. So I think and also before I move it to before Tolu is going to take over, this program is going to start in May, second week of May. So, and the registration will open today after this program. Immediately after this program, registration is going to open, and we are going to start in this second week of May. So, and also this program is just for 30 students, because we know if we have 100 students in this program, we know how it can be complex to manage the class so everybody can understand. But we are only going to accept 30 students for this cohort. Then probably for the next cohort, others can apply. So I think Tolu can take
Okay, you can
over from
actually
here. Tolu, are you there?
talk about the person that I want a scholarship. Okay, so you have the slide for the scholarship winner.
Yes, I do.
Okay, please
I'm
can
coming.
you show? Can you present the scholarship winner? Okay, we actually put out a scholarship competition, for the program in May, and there's a winner for that based on the instructions that were given for the scholarship. So her name is Abisola Akpara. I don't know if that's correct or is it Akpara or Akpara? I don't know. I'm sorry for that. But then that's the scholarship winner. So she has the access to our programs, full programs, and free of charge, entirely free of charge. She's the winner of the scholarship.